and happy Saturday, everybody. I am not at a Wawa's because I needed gas, and there's not a Wawa's between my home and our location for our hike today. I am going to meet Deb at the Charlestown Elementary School, from which we are going to shuttle over to Valley Forge, where we are going to face our nemesis and also do the first 7 miles of the Horseshoe Trail. It is a very cold morning, so let's get moving, get on the road. Alright, so welcome to Valley Forge National Historic Park. I have Deb with me. It is a beautiful cold morning, but the sun is out and it's warming up even as we speak. We are here to face that beast. No, not the jogger, the mountain behind him. That is Mount Misery. And when we started hiking last year, separately, Deb and I each attempted Mount Misery, and Mount Misery kicked us right in the teeth. And with good reason. It is a 300 feet of elevation gain over a little over a quarter mile, maybe a third of a mile. There are sections of it that have a 19% grade, which means it's like this. And for a new hiker, that is a tough pill to swallow or a hard hill to climb. But we've been doing this for a year now, and we want to see if we do it any better now than we did when we started. We have a lot of miles under our belt. We have quite a bit of elevation under our belt. So let's go see if we can actually climb this thing. At the top of Mount Misery is the sign-in book for the, what's the name of this trail?
Horseshoe Trail.
The Horseshoe Trail, thank you. I was coming up with Honeybrook Trail and I knew that wasn't right. For the Horseshoe Trail. The Horseshoe Trail actually starts further that way. But as Deb was just pointing out to me, there's no parking there. There's no way to get there except to access the trail here and go down and then come back up. Well, we're not doing that today, but we'll go and pick it up where it crosses the Mount Misery Trail. Like I said, there's a sign-in book there, so we may or may not sign into that. And then we're going to pick that trail up and start heading back towards Deb's car. But I will update you on that once we get to the top of the hill. So cross your fingers, pray for us. Let's go kick this hill. right, so we made it up Mount Misery, and it wasn't as miserable this time as it was last time. It was still hard, but we did the 3/4 of a mile in half an hour-ish. Deb's all trails and my all trails are telling us completely different things. But we took momentary stops, but not like clinging to the tree, gasping for life stops like we did last time. So considering that we haven't done a lot of high mileage hikes in the last 6 months since Maryland, I count that as a win. We're doing pretty well. So we have got to the junction of the Horseshoe Trail, as you could see by the sign I just had behind me. I don't know where. Oh, there it is. The log register is right over there. Oh, there's a cute little horseshoe up on the tree. So, and I think I remember seeing that when we were hiking it around St. Peter's as well. So we'll be watching for those. Once again, we think all trails may be lying to us, so we may have a longer hike than we expect, but a lot of it's going to be road walking, so it shouldn't be too bad. This first section is not road walking. We are on Pennsylvania rocks. So we are going to get our trekking poles in operation and try and get up over this hill. So the Horseshoe Trail is not a long hike trail the way we're used to with the AT or the long trail or the PCT. It's more of a patchwork that was put together to allow longer distance travel for hikers, but also for horseback riding. And Deb and I were just discussing the fact that it's very surprising that people on the Philadelphia main line would allow a hiking trail through their backyard. Well, of course they're going to. Most of them probably have horses, and they would like to have a nice place to ride their horses. So the Horseshoe Trail is made up of bits and pieces of public and private land. As you can see, we've been walking through a lot of folks' backyards in this area, which is much more common around here because it's so built up. As you get further out towards the French Creek area, it's more what we consider traditional wooded hiking. You can through hike it. I believe it's 135 miles from point to point. However, you cannot camp along it. There is one campground in the French Creek St. Peter's area, and it's questionable on whether hikers can actually camp there or not. So if you wanted to through hike it, you would need to, like Deb and I have done before, have point-to-point cars and be able to shuttle back and forth to a hotel, or have a support team who would meet you and drop you off and pick you up every day. It's still an interesting trail. And, you know, it's always fun getting a look in people's backyards.
The connectivity of it is fascinating. It gives you the opportunity to walk, essentially, from Valley Forge to the Appalachian Trail. And technically, if you took the bike path You could walk from Center City, Philadelphia to Valley Forge to the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
So, I mean, connectivity is huge in urban planning these days, and I mean, it's amazing that this still exists.
It is, considering all the development that we see. All right, so we're running into an issue that my All Trails that I mapped this route out says this is 7.5 miles. Deb put it into her Gaia app and it says it's 10. So we're really not sure which it's going to be, but we have to get back to the car, so we're going to keep walking. This route is and how much mileage it's going to add to our hike. Maybe that's why Deb's is giving us 10 miles and mine was giving us 7.5, if Deb's was including this reroute. So that's okay. My All Trails stopped recording about 1.5 miles back, so I have no information. I'm not sure what's going on with All Trails in this phone, but apparently it can't hold on to GPS worth a damn. Which is why I'm buying a Garmin as soon as we get off this trail. All right, Blue Blaze it is. We got to get back to the car. We have made an executive decision. That Blue Blaze Trail was going to take us up to that ridge up there, about 1/4 mile, and then walk maybe 1/2 mile through the woods, which would be lovely, and dump us right back on this road. So we'd be going twice the distance that we would be doing if we just walked on the road. So we're just walking on the road. Sometimes you have to be flexible when you're determining your route. It's very pretty walking through here. There's a lot of very interesting houses, older and new. When you think about the main line, you think about all the built up areas. And I never realized all this woodlands was really all still part of the main line. So it's very pretty. Road walking still sucks no matter how pretty it is, but we'll get it done. That last road walk really did a number on me, between walking at a sideways angle because of the slope of the road for water to run off it, and the hills up and down. My ankles didn't know if they were coming or going. So now they hurt and my hip hurts and my knees are starting to question my life choices. But we are off the road for a little bit and on this nice little trail. It's running behind some of these farms. The goats were adorable. But this is going to take us down the hill again and back to another road. And we'll have about a half mile on that, and then we'll be back off road walking onto hopefully dirt trails for about a mile and a half back to the car. So we're getting there. Still don't know how many miles we've done, but my all trails the GPS just gave up and isn't working at all. Deb is very excited. We're doing a switchback in suburban Pennsylvania. Someone was incredibly thoughtful. I'm sure it's for the horses' benefits and not for ours. All right. I got to use both hands to get down this, so. Deb was asking me about the purple paint swatches on the trees back there, and they are basically a signal to passersby that this is not a place to stop. It originated on properties along waterways to let boaters know not to pull up there to rest or camp, but it's been used more and more in other circumstances just to let people know to keep on moving. Deb has found a treasure. Back to the car. The last climb was a doozy with all the ups and downs we'd done before that. But the general consensus is this is the best time of year to do this, to just get it out of the way if you want to do the Horseshoe Trail. There isn't a lot to recommend it about this trail. We did see some neighborhoods we hadn't seen before, and a couple of interesting things, but for the most part, it was just a slog. How many miles did we do?
Mileage.
Because my All Trails wasn't working.
8.2.
Okay. Not too bad considering we had that extra road walk.
Yeah.
So, all right, so 8.2 in about 5 hours. Not horrible. Certainly better than I've been doing. All right, we're gonna go get my car and we're gonna go find a Five Guys. Actually, we know exactly where the Five Guys is because it's right near the REI and we got our REI rewards, so we're gonna go spend them. I hope everybody has a great week. We'll go out and do something next week. Not sure what. Hang in there and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.